Spoilers ahead for the post-credit scene from episode 12 of season 1 of Star Wars Andor. We get a post-credit scene where the camera zooms out from a bunch of droids who are installing the parts Andor was producing in prison into the laser dish of the Death Star, proving the absolute majority of people's theories correct. I actually don't like the decision to have the parts made in Andor's prison end up being part of the Death Star.
Oh, bro, you don't get it. See, Andor was in prison, and the Empire forced him to make these parts, and they went into the Death Star, and then later he gets his revenge by helping the rebels destroy that Death Star. After the Death Star destroyed Andor, it comes full circle. It's poetry, bro.
Yeah, no. This is just more bullshit where they're making the Star Wars universe too small. It would have been infinitely more interesting if these parts ended up being used in the mass production of TIE fighters or AT-ATs, something that helps show how absolutely dominant and widespread the Empire's control is becoming. Not just another part of the Death Star that's been at the center of the Star Wars galaxy for 44 years now. When the camera first started zooming out, I actually thought this was the shield gate at Scarif, and even that would have been more interesting if you had to connect these parts to Andor's later destiny. The Death Star is just way too on the nose. And at the risk of sounding like a doomsayer, this honestly makes me question the storytelling ability of these people moving forward. Because if a bunch of Redditors can guess what they're making in prison with zero evidence, that's not a good sign, and everything is becoming too predictable. Hopefully this tie-in and inclusion of the Death Star was dreamt up by some executive who isn't involved in the storytelling process.